I loved that he, like in the first half especially, he was putting on a clinic. Like he was like, it was textbook. The things he was doing was, he's just unstoppable, particularly when you have LeBron as your primary ball handler setting him up. Good luck with that. But the fourth quarter was a little quieter, and it was still a game. And the most impressive thing to me, Stephen A., because sometimes AD can be so efficient it can slow up your offense, because you have a tendency to, not just stand around and watch. It's not that kind of party, but to feed him, and he's very efficient, and you keep doing it. But he's scoring 2 points at a time for the most part, and some of the, the offense is not as fluid all the time. It's like the give and take of basketball. But the inbounds that he stole, because early on, Drew Holiday was bombing from three, and they were going back and forth like Davis with his moves in the inside and Holiday responding with threes. But late in that game, with the game still on the line, AD steals the inbounds. I mean, and like he comes from a place where like you're not supposed to be able to get to that. He is what makes him so special. We see 41 points. The offense, we know he's one of the most efficient scorers ever, really. The defense, he can be in two places at once. He's the first guy I've seen guard the pick and roll, the pick and the roll, like the pick and the roll man and the ball handler. You can see he's doing both at the same time. He's doing that for 5 or 6 years. So to me, Stephen A., the biggest play of the game was that stealing of the inbounds to ice the game. It was probably already over, but to certainly ice the game at the end after a quieter offensive fourth quarter. It just shows you what Davis can do.
First of all, on this particular day, let's point out the fact that the biggest thing that Anthony Davis did was show up. Kyrie Irving, he showed up. He was in the arena, knowing he was walking in the hostile confines with a team that had his back. Because I got news for you. I don't know if you watched Boston go up against Brooklyn last night. Brooklyn showed up. They didn't have enough at the end, but they showed up and they fought, and they would have had Kyrie's back. And obviously he's injured and what have you, so he couldn't be there. But I'm saying Anthony Davis showed up and showed out. Having said all of that, I have some concerns based on what I've seen last night. If you recall, we started off the season. I'm going with the Lakers because I'm thinking about the two-headed monster that is Anthony Davis, who I consider to be a top 5 player on the planet, and LeBron James, who I believe to be the imminent MVP of this league. I think that that's why I have the Lakers. Not that I don't know that the Clippers are the better team. I think the Clippers are the better team. I think they're deeper. I think they play better collectively. I think they're a better defensive team. But here's the thing this is the biggest thing that has alarmed me based off of what I saw last night. 2 things. The Lakers pick and choose when they want to amp it up defensively, whereas the Clippers are coming at you pretty much all the time, okay? Number 2, Anthony Davis's fragility. He had to go out. It ended up not being a serious injury when the guy came under him and the elbow injury. But if you look at Anthony Davis in the last year alone, sore ankle, elbow sprain, right elbow sprain, right hip strain, left index finger, shoulder, back spasms, obviously shoulders, rib shoulders, sore right shoulder. All of those things in the last year. Yeah. And the reason why that's alarming for me is because I believe, even though I'm not ignoring the Denver Nuggets, they're one of the best teams in the NBA. They're the number 2 seed in the Western Conference right now. Excuse me. Plus, you'd have to go to the Mile High City to go against them. We can't ignore what we're seeing from a young, vibrant, athletic Denver Nuggets squad. But obviously, we believe it's going to be about the Lakers or the Clippers. Yeah. And when I think about the Clippers, here's what I know they believe about Anthony Davis. We know he's one of the top 5 talents in the world. But can he deal with this when Harold and these boys get at him? And you got to remember what the Clippers do, because remember, I'm only bringing them up because I believe the Western Conference Finals is going to be a confrontation between the 2 teams. It's going to be at the Staples Center. Yeah. Okay? Understand what we're talking about here. We think about offensively, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Lou Williams. What we're missing is that defensively, you add Harold to that mix. It's Harold, Kawhi, Paul George, and Patrick Beverley. Okay? And Lou Williams, by the way, I don't know if anybody's noticed, he's been playing better defense.
Yeah. He has been.
And so because
that's been going on for a couple of years, by the way.
But especially now, because they got it. So understand something. And all of them are physical defenders. They get up in you. So I'm looking at Anthony Davis, And my lone question about him is the physicality that they're going to throw in his direction. A, is he going to stay healthy? And B, even if he is healthy, are you going to be able to deal with this?
What about LeBron having to play all those
I'm not worried
minutes?
about LeBron.
But the wear and tear of just playing every single game at 35 years old.
I am, and I'm glad you brought that up. When you deride the idea of load management, Stephen A., let's say Anthony Davis, let's just say it worked out that the way his injuries panned out, he winds up playing 60 games this season. But the Lakers obviously make the playoffs, one of the best records in the conference, and he's available for the playoffs at more or less full strength. You would say that's a success, right? Like,
yes.
That's what you hope for. That's why they load manage Kawhi.
Yeah.
That's why, because load management means we are content with our superstar playing 60-plus games, but maybe not 70, and in so doing, we will have him himself by the time the playoffs roll around. That's the point in load management.
Yeah, but,
let's try not to leave it up to luck.
But I roll with my man, Jeff Van Gundy, who decried load management on national television last night and talked about how the regular season has been devalued by the league, the players, and the media. Jeff Van Gundy made a very profound point.
I believe Coach is wrong. I believe Coach is wrong about that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.